You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh, how
you know what time it is. I'm brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's TG. We've got a pretty cool show for you planned tonight. As we know, it's freaking silly season. I mean, rumors and talk and everything all over the place. We're going to dive into that a little bit tonight. TG, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Dev. Having a great time actually back at my house. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. I got a question for you. When you woke up this morning, how did it feel waking up being a national freaking champion? How'd that feel for you?
Felt great.
Oh, it's freaking awesome, isn't
Love it, man.
It's great.
This is our third national title in my lifetime. It is. Because the first time they won a natty, it was the year I was born.
Nice.
Enjoy,
Heck yeah. you a youngin', huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, shout out everybody in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all. I was doing my devotion this morning and praying a little bit. It just kind of hit me, man. God brought this channel to my mind, and it's just so wild. The things that happen in life and the way God orchestrates things. To have this channel, I believe we're like a little over 3 months old. We got over 2,000 subscribers. We got faithful listeners every night on our live shows. It's growing. TG's a new addition to the channel. You couldn't ask for a better person to join the channel. On some news also to let you know, Duke and Daniel, Duke Pettijohn, the father of Riley Pettijohn, the best linebacker in the nation. He's a Buckeye. And Daniel Sanchez, the father of the best cornerback in the nation by far, Devin Sanchez. They're starting a show on the Buckeye Boys, and their first show will be this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be great. In this off season here on the Buckeye Boys, we're really focusing on guests. Now, I just want to talk to you guys for a second because there's analytics when it comes to a YouTube channel. Now, when me and Mello and TG and Sean and Tony, when we get on here and we talk about football, we get a pretty good number of views. When we bring guests on, our views go down. I don't know why that is. That's not going to stop me from bringing guests on because I absolutely freaking love it. I love interviewing people. I love talking to them, especially former players and parents and recruits and the whole 9 yards. But I want to make sure that at least our faithful listeners are enjoying us bringing guests on because we love it here. We have, the list of guests that we have coming on this offseason are absolutely phenomenal. So chat, do me a favor, answer this question. Do you enjoy it when we have guests on? Or would you rather just see us come on every day and just bullcrap with y'all and talk football, man? I just want your guys' opinion because y'all are in here every night, and I can't express my gratitude enough to y'all for being in here. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. That does wonders for us. We also do super chats. Again, we got that back up and running, and you can become a member for $1.99 a month. Please bear with us. We're trying to figure out what that gets you. We know on other channels it gets you certain videos. That will never be the case on Buckeye Boys. All our videos will always be free to the public, to everybody. We'll never have behind the paywall videos, but we got to give something to our members. So we'll figure that out and we'll let you know. But wanted to dive into some of these rumors and who's leaving for the transfer portal, who's staying, all that stuff. I'm sure, TG, I'm sure that you're active on social media and you've seen, oh my God, Carnell Tate's leaving. Jeremiah Smith got offered $4.5 million. Jim Knowles is going to go to Penn State. He's going to go to Oklahoma. All this crazy mess. So I want to dive into that. talk about what we know here on the Buckeye Boys and also how we feel about some of these things and some other news. Iggy's coming back, Sonny's coming back, so the whole 9 yards. So first, we're going to start with a couple players that left after the national title game. The players that entered the transfer portal. Tomorrow is the last day that Ohio State players have to enter the transfer portal. They had 5 extra days because they were in the national title game. So I'm going to start with the one that hit me the hardest. I'm going to be honest with you. The one that I was like, dang, man, I loved him. I loved all the interviews that he did. I loved his story from Germany. I loved just everything about him, man. Hero Canoe went to the transfer portal. TG, your thoughts?
I was surprised. I was like, you were pretty much a contributor on this D line. Now, yeah, he didn't have a great year, but he was a contributor. So that one kind of shocked me that he left in the portal. That kind of shocked me.
Yeah. All right, let's switch gears real fast. I got to bring this up, yo. So everybody, Brett's going to be back. Brett just went through some personal issues with some health things, so pray for him. Brett's a Buckeye boy. He's family here on this channel, so I reached out to him the other day because we all heard. If you remember last year, TG, I don't know if you remember this, but KJ tweeted something out, okay? I forget exactly what it was, but he tweeted something out, and all of Buckeye Nation took it like, oh, he's transferring, okay? Well, the true story was all he was expressing his gratitude for being a Buckeye. Now, I think the same thing happened this year. Kenyatta Jackson tweeted out, Jesus, I'm in your hands. Whatever you have planned for me, I love you. That's what he tweeted. That's all he tweeted out. And Buckeye Nation, they took that. The national media took it. They rolled with it. Oh, my God, Kenyatta's transferring. Kenyatta is not transferring. The dude's a Buckeye. If he would have transferred, he would have transferred last year. Yeah, he would have done it already. So let's actually hit on that real fast. How excited are you for KJ to be a Buckeye? Do you think he's going to transfer? Tell me your thoughts, and then we'll dive back into Hero.
Well, first of all, I never in a million years thought he would transfer, especially because he's becoming a contributor to the D-line. And with JT and Jack leaving, he was going to become a starter, so why would he transfer for starters? Secondly, I'm excited for him being a Buckeye. I think he's going to do great. Now, at first, he wasn't great against the run game. He needed to get better against the run game. That was the one reason why I think Larry Johnson didn't put him on the field as much. He mostly put him on for pass rushing. But once Kenyatta got better at, run stuffing, and especially in the playoffs, because he started showing that, it's like, okay, this guy's going to be a great, great player for Ohio State. Great defensive end. Yes, he's not Jack or JT, but he's still going to be an impactful player in my eyes. I think he'll do great.
Yeah. Now, you said something right there that, I want to dive into. You said he's not a Jack or a JT. And now I totally get that right now. But Jack and JT, they had way more moments to prove who they were as players. And obviously we know Jack and JT, two of the best defensive ends in college football. A lot of Buckeye Nation questioned that, including myself, like at the beginning of the year and stuff.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah,
I think
not every.
I can tell you this: with some of these 5 stars, it takes them a little bit. Like, they're not always going to come in and be instantly great, but you're going to see moments. And if they can find their rhythm, if they can find, because Jack was getting moved around the defensive line, so he couldn't really find where he fit yet until they finally moved him out wide to let him just pass rush.
Yeah,
and JT,
100%.
I mean, we've seen the Penn State game. He showed you what he can do. And it's not like he was doing it against scrub. This guy was doing it against first-round tackles. So he showed you what he could do. It's just the consistency type thing you kind of wish. But I wouldn't expect him to play at that level consistently. It's more of, can you get sacks? Can you be disruptive? Can you do more of it?
100%, dude.
Also, I will also say that it also came down to the scheme. How are you letting them pass rush? Do they have the freedom to do what they need to do? Because in the NFL, they're going to have more freedom. And the best part about the NFL is all these quarterbacks hold onto the ball long, so they're going to have chances to get a lot more.
Yeah. Yo, shout out Eric over there in Ohio. Shout out Eric over there in the Ohio pod. We have conversations. Obviously, we both do YouTube videos, and when you title your video, there's certain words that people love to see in there. And I posted something on Twitter earlier, like I posted breaking, like breaking news. people on Twitter will make up stuff just to start a conversation. Okay, so be careful with that. That's going to happen. It's going to happen all the time.
They
so
always do.
yeah,
I never believe it.
The word rumor helps us a lot around here. It gets people to click on maybe a little clickbaity. We do fall into that from time to time, but we keep it real here on the Buckeye Boys. That's what we're talking about today. So yeah, shout out Eric on Ohio Pod. Go over there and check out Ohio Pod. They're a great channel, amazing people. They helped us get to where we're at. But Jack and JT, amazing defensive ends for sure. I think Kenyatta Jackson has all the skills necessary to be just as good as they are. We saw in the Natty game. I know I was there. I just rewatched it today. The dude had 2 very impressive tackles. He's very, very fast, very lengthy. He's a little bit different of a defensive end than you go from a 270-pound JT and Jack, but he's a lot faster and stuff. But let's move on to Hero. Okay, we're losing Hero Canoe. I will remind people we got Jason Moore. We got now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong here, but doesn't Jason Moore still have time? Tywan Malone, Edric Houston, K-Mac, like those guys. They're all. As of now, they're all still coming back, and they still have eligible years. Am I correct there?
Yeah, you're right. And don't forget Will Smith Jr.
Will Smith Jr., 100%. Some of these freshmen coming in.
And then you also have freshmen coming in, too, so that's understandable. But with Hero Canoe, I think he would have been a contributor still on this D-line because I think he was ahead of Jason. He's definitely ahead of Will Smith and the other guys on the D tackle chart. He definitely was. He just would have been a rotational piece.
Yeah, 100%. He would have definitely contributed. He contributed this year. So he was, in the beginning of the year, he was the first defensive tackle off the bench. I think it was, well, it might have been K-Mac, but he was 4th. Hero Canoe was like 4th. And then I don't think he performed to the level that we wanted him to or that the coaches wanted him to. And he just he fell behind Edric Houston, K-Mac, but you never know. He would have been a contributor next year for sure. Shane's wanting to know the amount I spent for all total playoff games. Is that a thing that somebody can share and it not sound like you're being an arrogant a-hole? Is that okay? Can you tell people what? Is that an okay thing to do? I think you can,
as long as you don't come off like it.
Yeah, no, it's just reality. I know how much I spent. Like, are you wanting to know what did I spend on tickets or plane tickets, travel, the whole 9 yards? Because I know that exact number. I'm a business owner, right? So me and my numbers and money, I got everything down to the cent. I have to organize everything like crazy. So I'll tell you. So for the national title game, I spent $5,000 on my ticket, $4,985. I drove there. I stayed at Mello's house after the game for free. So essentially, I had $5,100.50 in the national title game. In the Rose Bowl, I had $2,400 total and everything for myself. That was just for myself. For the game for the Texas game, I had about $3,800. So that's $4,262 plus 51. I had $11,300 in going to all 3 playoff games and everything. But honestly, what really hit the bank, and it pissed me off because it shouldn't be this way, is a $5,000 ticket for the national title game. Like, that crap's wild. My bank account took a hit. I'm going to be recovering now for a couple months, so it's going to take a minute.
You're never going to see me do that, ever.
But I had to do it. I was so invested in this team. I was talking to Tony earlier on the phone, and I'm sure it's the same with all of us, Mello and Sean here on Buckeye Boys. We were just so invested in this team, man. Like, start a YouTube channel.
So was I, but I'm not spending $5,000.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. And that is price. I was sick to my stomach. I'm going to be honest. When I hit buy, because I had to transfer money to my account and everything. It got wild. But I got sick to my stomach. I called my dad and my parents. It was like, oh, my God, I think I'm going to puke. I just spent $5,000 on a
you
ticket.
waited all that time and it didn't go down?
Yeah. I waited all that time. No, they went up. If I would have waited about an hour, my ticket would have cost $8,000. So I was sitting around. I asked everybody because that's how I am. So I asked about 10 people around me. 2 people spent $1,800 on their tickets. They bought them 3 months in advance because they live in Atlanta, and they said, whoever goes, we're going to go. They didn't care. They spent $1,800. But out of the 10 other people I asked, I was the second cheapest ticket. 5 of them around me spent $8,000 on their tickets. Like, yeah. So I waited. So the ticket that I had, I was in row 14, very close. I got a really good deal on my ticket in the grand scheme of they were $8,000 tickets. But I'll tell you that 30 minutes before, like 10 minutes before kickoff, there were only 2 tickets left on ticket sites that I saw, and they were both over $8,000. So the ticket prices did not go down. They kept going up the entire time.
They should have made it go down because I don't care. I ain't never spending money.
No.
I love my team, but I'm not spending money. I ain't spending that kind of money. No.
Yeah, no, I was just invested. Man, you can't, it's memory. You know, I instantly prayed and asked God for his forgiveness for spending $5,000 on a football ticket. But hopefully he forgives me one day. I think he did already, so we're good to go. But anyway, yeah, so there's that. But we're national champs. I got a memory that I'll never forget. I got a stretch of memories. I got to go to the Rose Bowl with Mello and Brad. I got to go to the Cotton Bowl with my little brother. I went to the Natty game by myself, but I got to meet Nevada and Funky Buck and so many other people. Like, I'm telling you, you cannot.
About it on the show.
Yeah, you can't put a price tag on those memories. You just can't. So it was a great time. But so we lost Hero Canoe. We also lost Calvin Simpson Hunt, which I expected him to have a little bit more of a role this year. I just had really high hopes for him. But I hate to see a player like that. I hate to see us lose a player like that. But I have zero concerns about our secondary or our depth, especially with the players we have coming in. And, you know, Jermaine Matthews, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Hartford, McLean, Bryce West, Aaron Scott. Like, I think we're absolutely loading the secondary. Your thoughts on losing Calvin Simpson Hunt?
It sucked, I'm not going to lie, because I'm like, if he had stuck around, he would have been a starter by his senior year. And I think he also would have had to contribute. I think he would have contributed on this team much more as well. That sucked, but I'm not concerned about the secondary, especially with Iggy coming back. And
yeah,
I cannot wait for Devin Sanchez. Really, I'm also excited about Bryce West, because remember, Tim, like Ted Glenn, he does not lie. He does not gloat. He does not overrate nobody. He is dead on 10-toe serious. He said Bryce West is going to be a superstar for Ohio State, so I'm excited about that. I actually can't wait to see this cornerback room and the young guys. I actually think this is going to be fun for them, and this is a great chance for a guy like Bryce West to take the fold as well as Aaron Scott and learn from David Benosin. And for David, this is great for him because you get to go and work on not being too physical and become a first-round corner if you just stop being.
Yeah, don't dive into Iggy too much. We're gonna get into that in a minute. So don't give away all your goods you got on Iggy coming back. But yeah,
I'm not giving that away. But I'm just that part excites me about the secondary is getting him back.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, shout out Mello in the chat. He's feeling a little under weather today, so pray for him. We got to get him back on here tomorrow. We got a guest coming on tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. We could have a very, very, very special surprise guest coming on tomorrow at some random time, just to let you know. Somebody that played in the national championship game, a very big role. I bet you he's probably the most popular player on the team right now, considering what he did in a certain game. But he might come on tomorrow. You never know. We don't have a for sure answer, but I was texting back and forth with somebody very dear to him today, and we'll see if he gets on here. So that would be awesome. You do not want to miss it. I don't know what time. Could be at 10 a.m., could be at 10 p.m. I don't know. I literally texted whatever time there's availability, we will make it. So we'll see. But I love what Mello said here. Calvin Simpson leaving shows how elite Devin Sanchez is. Yeah, I mean, Devin Sanchez is the real deal.
Just how stacked that cornerback room is. It just shows you how stacked it is.
Yeah, it's wild. So the other one we lost, Mitchell Melton. I loved Mitchell Melton. I loved when he got in the games. I loved what he did. I hated to see him leave. I think it's a position group on the team that, I wanted to keep some depth at. I know we got Logan George. I know we got C.J. Hicks possibly moving down the defensive end. We got Kenyatta Jackson, Caden Curry, Logan George, Joshua Mickens, Dominic Kirks. I think Dominic might be an inside guy, but we'll see how. Either way, yeah.
And don't forget Zion Grady.
Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say is, either way, and I wouldn't be like honest and true if I didn't say this. Shout out Scoop, because what Scoop did for me, listening to Nevada, listening to Kirk, they were always that channel that they never really freaked out. Okay, they always said, everything's going to be fine. And there's a couple times I didn't agree with him. I actually was like, dude, what the heck are y'all talking about? Y'all are crazy if you don't think there's an issue right now. I mean, even after the Scum game, they're like, now after the Scum game here on Buckeye Boys, at least me for sure, I was all like, we're good. But they let me see a different side of this football thing. And it's that you can't do that. The season's as long as it is for a reason. Games are 4 quarters for a reason. Just because a team has a bad game doesn't mean that that's who they are, right? It's kind of like
it's just
life.
hard not to get angry as a fan.
It is. It's kind of like life. Just, praise the Lord that people don't judge us based off of our worst actions we've ever done. So just think of the worst thing you've ever done in your life. What if everybody in your life judged you off of the worst thing you've ever done? Right?
That would suck.
So, that would suck for sure.
If you're like, it's okay to be angry in the moment. It's just that once everything's over with, my family would tell you that when I'm watching these games and I'm seeing them play as stupid as possible, I get so ticked.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm being a fan in that moment. Like, I'm not being an analyst. I'm just being a fan trying to watch. And I'd be so ticked when I see them because the Michigan game had me ticked. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt. But
the offense, at least the offense, because the defense was doing their thing.
Yeah, 100%. But either way, we can lose players, we can gain players, we can lose coaches, we can gain coaches. It's the Block O, okay? We're the winningest football team since 2000 in the last 25 years. We're the winningest football team by like 20-some games, I do believe. We're going to be good. This is Ohio State, man. The expectation is top notch. The expectation is this year. Some Ohio State fans, we underachieved this year. I am not one of those Ohio State fans. We won the national freaking championship. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. Get it on. But I want to switch gears. I'm going to go a little dark here for a second. Not dark as in gloomy, but dark as in I'm pissed off. And I'm pissed off because I heard of the death threats and the threats made to Ryan Day's son and all that stuff. I heard about it. And it made me mad when I heard about it. But I recently read an article over on Bucknuts where Nina, Ryan Day's wife, was interviewed. And she got into specifics about things that were said to Ryan Day and to his son. And also she went into specifics about her mindset, like where all this put her in life. And I just got to say, I wanted to stay out of it because it's pretty obvious that death threats or even threats in any type of way to a coach and his family member is just absolutely, like, that's so ridiculous. Like,
over the top.
Do you really need to say words back to that? Like, do I really need to say, hey, stop being a piece of shit, excuse the language, and threatening people's lives and all that stuff? Like, does that really...
Not being a crappy human being.
Does that really need to be said in today's society? But now, after reading that, it does need to be said by me, and I want to say, chill out. I mean, chill out, dude. These are human beings too, okay? Ryan Day, what's he lost? 10 games in his time here at freaking Ohio State. Look at all the other programs. Like, there is definitely some frustrating stuff for sure. I was frustrated with Ryan Day a couple times this year, but never anywhere close to even saying, hey, Ryan Day, like, get lost. Like, I wouldn't even say those words to him.
Go off yourself like your dad did, which is what a fan said.
Yeah, hey, listen, check it out. I know a lot of people go through a lot of stuff in life, and my first thought is whoever made these threats and all that stuff, that they're lost. I mean, they're absolutely lost. They have went through things in their lives that we don't know. So I don't want to jump out and judge people, but I will say, if you made these threats to his kid, to anybody in his family, or to an Ohio State player, you need to check yourself big time, because you are on a path of destruction. Okay? If you think it's okay to put a coach's address on the internet, or to threaten their lives or their kids' lives or anything, I encourage you to check into rehab, check into a psych ward or whatever, because that's just the beginning of the downfall in your life. If that is the way you live your life, and that made you feel good to say those words out loud, or you're Ryan Day's son's teacher and you made a comment to him about a loss that he had, I encourage you to go check yourself, to pray, to ask God to come into your life, because the series of events that's going to follow is not going to be good. So I'm praying for you. I hope that you can get these demons unleashed from you. It's not okay to threaten anybody's life ever.
Yeah, I pray for you people. I do.
That's wild,
also,
man.
Don't you remember this happened to Luke Fickell too? Remember back the 6th, 7th season, this happened to him too.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong with your fans? Look, it's okay to be angry, but why are you mad at Luke Fickell? It's not his fault why the team is this bad. Like, I'm sorry, but he wasn't really put in a winnable situation here.
Yeah, karma is a real thing. And listen, if you're listening to me right now, go over to Bucknuts and read the write-up about Nina Day's interview, and it'll change you. It will. I felt kind of bad about some of the stuff I said to like Mello and stuff about Day. I never threatened his life, but I said, yo, Ryan Day's an idiot. Like, I said that out loud. I only say that to a couple people because I get emotional. I'm a human being. I get upset in the moment, but like, that's the worst I ever said. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Justin Fry, the worst I ever said is that dude needs to go. He needs to be fired. Like, I said that. I don't feel that way now.
I never agree with anyone who says that, because
I did. I was one of those. I said, even if he wins a national title, I want Justin Fry gone. I'm eating those words. I look like an idiot. I have idiot tattooed on my forehead. Why? Because Justin Fry made me look like an idiot. I'm so pumped he made me look like an idiot. I love it. Yeah. I'm glad he did.
I actually said it. I was one of the people saying this. Listen, guys, would you rather have a guy who can develop players or a guy who just recruits? If you had to pick one, I'm taking the offensive line coach to develop. I always knew Justin Fry was great at development. I mean, go back to his history. The guy was developing great offensive lines back in the day. I mean, dude, at Boston College, his offensive lines were making the Boston College running back a legit Heisman contender. And then you look at his time at UCLA, people always thought it was just Chip Kelly. Guys, Chip Kelly fired the previous offensive line coach for how bad the offensive line was. He hired Justin Fry, and their offense, their run game goes up times 40. Their pass game goes up times 30. Like, all of a sudden, their offense actually is going well. And I get that Fry's offensive lines recently haven't looked great, but you also have to look at it like this. He's had to do a lot of shuffling. Now, the 2022 offensive line, I thought they looked great. 2023, they took a step back because Luke Welper left too soon. So they had to go to Carson Hinsman, who I thought was getting better, and that entire offensive line, for that matter, was getting better throughout the season. And the plan wasn't for Carson to be the starter. So, as a matter of fact, I think they were planning to go to Matthew Jones as center, move Musa in at guard. I think it was Fryer who was supposed to be right guard, and McCaskey was going to be the tackle, and they were going to go get Joshua Simmons out of the portal anyway. They were going to do that, but then McCaskey, he gets hurt during the workouts. He gets hurt during training camp. So now they have to kick Fryer out to tackle, keep Matthew Jones at guard, and put Carson in at center. So he's had to do a lot of stuff with the offensive line, and I was thoroughly impressed with what he was able to do. I'm like, listen, I take that over a guy who just recruits but can't develop. Because guess what? It doesn't matter how many 5-star offensive linemen there are. He can miss on these 5 stars. He has. Guess what? A lot of these 5 stars that he missed out on are total bust. Because they went to a program, didn't get developed properly, and now they suck. You could be a 5-star offensive lineman. You will suck if you don't have the proper development. Doesn't matter what your star rating is. What matters is, are you getting the development? If you're not, you're gonna fall down. You're gonna be a bust. And this happens all the time. 90% of 5-star offensive linemen turn out to be busts. Only 10% turn out to be good.
Yeah,
Just
the biggest thing I learned this year is patience, right? Not to jump on a take too fast, okay? Like this Justin Fry take. Now, like in defense, there were some things going on like there in the season, some decisions being made that made us that actually you had some argument there. The people that were saying let's get rid of Justin Fry, they had a very, very strong argument. But even in my argument, I kept saying, I hope Justin Fry proves me wrong. I want him to be the best developer in college football, and that's what he turned into be. So, but we're going to move on from that. I love our coaching staff right now.
I will say this: offensive line requires the most patience because it is, aside from quarterback, the position that requires the most development.
Yeah, I saw that this year. I learned a thing. That might be one of my favorite things about this year and starting YouTube and being involved in this stuff is how much I learned, because coming on here and talking football, it forced me to learn a thing or two about the game of football. And you'll shout out to Minnesota Sports, their film breakdowns that Zach does. Go sign up for that, man. If you want to be a smarter football fan, go sign up for that. Shout out Scoop. They taught me a whole bunch of stuff. Kirk and Nevada over there. Funky Buck, B. Moses. Good group of guys that know a lot about football, man. So the other things I want to dive into is some of these rumors that popped out instantly. We win a natty. We get to celebrate for about 6 hours, and then fans start tripping. Oh, my God. Jeremiah Smith got offered $4.5 million from whoever. Carnell Tate got offered $1 million. Yada, yada. Everybody's freaking out. But luckily for me, I've been around long enough to know that this was coming. I knew this was coming. It's called silly season, folks. It's a time for most people that do social media and YouTube and all that. It's all about your followers. It's all about your listeners. And how can you get those followers and listeners? Well, by creating a rumor that Jeremiah, if I were to type a video breaking Jeremiah Smith accepting $4.5 million deal from Miami to transfer, oh my God, I would get 10,000 views. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth.
No,
that's a rumor.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. It was true that he was getting tampered with, though. Him and Carnell. Now, they weren't going to accept the money no matter what, but...
Yeah, that's so every good player in football is getting tampered with. There's no way around it. You can... Now, here's really the real truth. You don't even need to tamper anymore. There's so many ways around the rules. As long as the coach or the team doesn't contact the player directly, all they got to do is contact their parent or their agent and tell them, hey, man, we'll give you $4.5 million to come here. The agent or the parent goes to the player and says, hey, we got a $4.5 million offer on the line. If that player is interested in that offer, they'll hit the portal. Boom, they're gone. They go. So it was a clown take hearing. I saw some Notre Dame fans say, well, Ryan Day needs to follow the golden rule, do unto others as you want done unto you. Because look at what how do you think he got Will Howard and Quinshon Judkins and Caleb Downs?
That's not what
happened. They entered the portal, and we went after them. That's how we got them.
They never tampered. They entered the portal. Like, bro, Caleb Downs literally said he entered the portal because Nick Saban retired. Same thing with Julian saying. And the both of them literally said they would have went to Ohio State if Nick Saban won at Bama.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole reason they only went to Bama for Saban. So when he retired, they were going to leave. That was no question. They wanted to come here. They loved the culture, loved the development, loved everything about Ohio State. They just wanted to go learn from the GOAT, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Will Howard, he had to make a decision because Kansas State was gonna go to Avery Johnson anyway. So he was either going to Ohio State because he was going to either hit the portal or go to the NFL. He said, I would go hit the portal, go to Ohio State. That's what he did. Quinshon Judkins. He literally, and I'm going to say this to everybody, he literally hit the portal because he got tired of Lane Kiffin's stupidity. So he literally just hit the portal because he got tired of carrying the workload. So it was all about, hey, listen, if he comes to Ohio State, his whole thing was coming here to try to get the workload carried off of him and to go get and to pretty much go get a national championship and hopefully get his draft stock up. That's what he did. Seth McLaughlin, he got kicked out of Alabama after the Michigan game, after the Rose Bowl. So, like, you can't say they tampered when that never happened. All these guys that were on the portal, these 5 guys at least, they just hit the portal because they didn't want to be where they were at. They had
100%. You know, long story short, Carnell Tate is a Buckeye. He's staying a Buckeye. That's official. He's not going anywhere. Jeremiah Smith, I got news for you. It needs to be a $10 million offer. I don't think there's an offer you can make him for him to go. But I got news for you. Jeremiah Smith is making more than $4.5 million at Ohio State. I promise you he is. Not that the foundation or something is paying that, but when you show what you show on the field, the money comes, okay? Businesses reach out to you, other people reach out to you, and you sign deals that have nothing to do with the foundation or nothing to do with the school that you're going out. Jeremiah Smith, I would, if somebody told me Jeremiah Smith made $10 million this year in nil deals, and that includes what Ohio State is paying him, and that also includes the other things that he made just by performing on the field, I wouldn't blink an eye. I would say, oh, yeah, that's totally on par. I believe that. So $4.5 million is, I believe, I don't have facts to back this up, but I don't think that's a lot of money for Jeremiah Smith. I think he made more than that this year. I'm not saying Ohio State is paying him $10 million in nil money, but I think he's making at least $10 million in nil money because look what he did as a freshman. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care what team you're on. Companies worldwide are going to be reaching out to you when you're Jeremiah Smith doing what you're doing.
Companies in Columbus have been reaching out to this dude.
Yeah.
Over 30,000. Y'all have over 30,000 businesses in Columbus. They do. And you have these companies reaching out to him because they're like, okay, this kid, he's special. We got to get him as part of this. I mean, I think he got a Red Bull commercial, if I'm not mistaken, and a bunch of other commercials.
He does. Yeah.
Like, he's getting NIL money for this stuff.
Hey, did you guys see Will Howard's Dr. Pepper commercial?
No, I didn't see it. So,
Please, somebody in the chat tell me you saw that. Oh, dude, it was hilarious. He was like a diva.
Show me.
He flipped a coat over his thing. He was pouring Dr. Pepper like up for really high. Oh, dude, people are clowning all over him. It's hilarious, dude. Please tell me somebody in the chat has watched Will Howard's Dr. Pepper commercial.
I gotta see this, man.
I freaking love it. You should pull it up. Yeah, you can go to Twitter and type in Will Howard Dr. Pepper. It was cracking me up. But yeah, man, Carnell Tate, the things he's been through on this team, bro, this is a family. The brotherhood that they say, it's not a slogan. They say that too, but it's real. It's a family. You saw people say that online, and you saw all these Ohio State players react to it and agree to it and be like, yeah, you're right. But the other thing is, Emeka Egbuka was a number 2 receiver this year, and he's going to go in the first-round draft. How many number 2, number 3 receivers are playing in the NFL right now of Brian Hartline's?
Oh,
okay, so, yeah. So, Carnell Tate is hands down, undoubtedly, the number 2 receiver next year. Jeremiah Smith's number 1, who's going to take a lot of attention.
Number 3.
And then you saw the year that Emeka Egbuka had. Carnell Tate is going to have a 1,000-yard season next year. If that comes out of some type of bet,
1,000 yards this year alone, and he didn't even get that many yards.
Yeah, he had 733 yards total as a number 2 receiver, and we felt like he was not really in it much. But Carnell Tate's an absolute stud. He's the number 2 receiver.
I mean, the guy keeps flipping when he has no business even getting no business.
Yeah, he can be a first-round draft pick easily, and I think that's going to come to fruition. I think it's going to happen. SFE's taking over, man. Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis,
Bryson Rogers, Brandon Graham.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. The Quincy Porter, the freshman coming in, he's now, I think he's a top 25 player in the nation on Rivals now. I always knew he was an absolute freak. Like way back the beginning of this, they had him ranked as like the number 23 receiver. Me and Mello did a video on receivers, and I think me and him both said that, dude, Quincy Porter is a top 2 or top 3 receiver in this class period. The dude is an absolute beast.
If Brian Harline's going after these dudes, you know how good they are. So the fact that he got a recruiting bump, it ain't shocking. Because you know when Ohio State goes after some of these kids, especially these lower rated ones like Bo Payne Miller. Dude was a 3-star. Now he's a 4-star because Ohio State offered him. And they accepted him because they saw this kid could be a stud.
Yeah. That's what they did. We're going to switch subjects real fast. I didn't want to get to this next, but we're going to now because the Penn State guy come in here. So I'll tell you real fast that if you go to Oklahoma boards, on the Oklahoma boards, they are saying Jim Knowles already signed the contract. he is their defensive coordinator next year. If you go to Penn State boards, they are saying the contract is already signed. Jim Knowles is already the defensive coordinator for Penn State. If you go to Wikipedia, all three of the fan bases are in a war of who can change the page faster. Every 30 seconds it changes. You'll go on there, he's the Ohio State defensive coordinator. You'll click refresh, he's the Penn State coordinator. You'll click refresh, he's the Oklahoma coordinator. Well, I hate to break it to everybody. This is going to be really sad for some Ohio State fans to hear, but unfortunately, it is true. Jim Knowles is not going anywhere. He is a Buckeye. He's staying with the Buckeyes. I twisted my words a little bit because a lot of people wanted Jim Knowles fired. That is not officially official, but I will tell you that in the Woody, all the people close to him, Ohio State gave Jim Knowles a deal matching Penn State's offer of $3.2 million a year, the highest paid defensive coordinator in the nation. That is the information I have. Jim Knowles, when he first got hired here, he said, it's going to take about 3 years to instill my defense here. Well, 3 years later, we got a national title. So the dude is a genius. I just don't think there's any way. There's all these rumors out there about his fiance, and he's a Penn State guy, and yada, yada, yada. It's silly
even Notre
season.
Dame's trying to get in on him, too. Notre Dame's trying to get in on him, too. And I'm like, I always knew he wasn't going because, first of all, you're in a stable situation for starters. You got all the talent on defense. You got Caleb Downs. You still got Miles Lockhart, Jalen McClain, and who's that other safety that they got from that same class, that other 3-star?
Malik Harford oh no, he already transferred out. The other one that got McLean's class.
Yeah,
he's transferred out already. I forget what his name was. He did.
He did, man. That's
Chat. Who's the safety that come in with McLean? He transferred out. His mom got on Twitter and said something about he's black and can't play at Ohio State. She went wild, man. She went crazy, dude. She went crazy. Bonsu. Yeah, Bonsu. Yeah, Jaden Ball, he transferred out already. But we live in a crazy world. But anyway. Yeah.
Jaden Bonsu, that's who it was? I thought it was some dude named Waker. It was like some dude with a name of LH. That's not who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, Penn State guy. I hear you. You know what I mean? I don't hate Penn State. You know. By the way, Thanks for coming and joining the show. By the way, we welcome people in here. I just don't think, number one, I'll never believe in a million years that Ohio State will let Jim Knowles go. He won't leave here because of money. Whatever another team offers him, I think we lost TG. TG, I think your internet connection's a little going crazy right now. But Ohio State will not lose Jim Knowles because somebody offered him more. Yeah, you're just... Give yourself about 30 seconds because I'm talking and I think your internet's slow and we keep talking at the same time. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Give me a second. I'm going to get off.
Yeah, there's a big delay. But Ohio State is not letting Jim Knowles go for money. Now, there's also all these rumors out there that Jim Knowles does not get along with Ryan Day. He does not get along with Larry Johnson. Let me ask you this question. Do you think a coaching staff that doesn't get along can win a national title? Uh-oh. What'd I get wrong, Mello? Where's ZZM? I gotta dive into this. Did I say a wrong name or something? I do that a lot. That happens. I don't like being told I'm wrong, though. It happens every day in my life. I'm wrong, but whatever, man. We'll see. Yeah, Penn State guy, I feel you. I guess they could win. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. We've been hearing all year about it, but I just think Jim Knowles, he's here. They just won a national championship. Money is not going to get him to go to another team. I don't believe it. Like one little bit. So I'm still trying to figure out. I pause it. No matter how wrong you are, you'll never be as wrong as me, brother. I don't know, bro. My list of being wrong is way longer than my list of being right. I promise you that, man. So, chat, what'd I get wrong? Okay, Mello texted me. Here we go. It's gonna get real. Let's see. Oh, my bad. Whoa. That's a big mistake on my part. I apologize. I knew to keep my mouth shut. I shouldn't even have said that stupid crap, man. I knew not to say it. I guess Jaden Bontoon's mom did not say anything about him being black and not playing. It was because he was a Muslim. She said that he was Muslim and he's not going to get. Either way, it's all the enemy. It's all the devil trying to create. Trying to create division between people because the devil hates when people come together as a family, start getting stuff done. I apologize, chat. That's why I don't ever say. I knew in my heart of hearts not to even bring that up. I knew it, but I did it. My flesh got the best of me. I apologize.
That sounds very suspect. I was about to say that sounds very suspect given the fact that you have a bunch of black dudes playing at all.
Yeah, it's all. I can't stand all that stuff anyway. But
by the way, Bonsu wasn't the one I was talking about. There was another safety in that room. He was a 3-star.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know. You talking about this year?
Breaker, something like that.
Oh.
I forgot his name, but he was a stud too. He's a stud too. Like he's.
I think I know who you're talking about. The other safety that came with Jaden McClain. I think he's grown out of being a safety now. I think he's a linebacker. But Leroy Roker. There you go, Russ. Thank you, my dude.
Thank you.
Leroy Roker. Yeah. I've heard he's an athletic freak. I'm pretty sure he's still on the team. But I don't know. But either way, the rumor on the street, there's 109,000 million rumors about Jim Knowles right now, and everybody will keep building on it and building on it. Crazier and crazier stuff's going to keep coming out, but just take a step back and try to use common sense. But here's the truth. I hate to tell you this, but here's the truth. If Jim Knowles goes to another team, guess what? We're going to be okay. I don't want that to happen. I love Jim Knowles. I think he's the best defensive coordinator in the nation, but we lost Woody Hayes. We lost Jim Tressel. We lost Urban Meyer. We've lost all these coaches throughout our lifetimes that people say, oh my God, no way we can ever lose these coaches. This is the Block O. It's not Ryan Day. It's not Jeremiah Smith. It's not Emeka Ibuka. It's not Seth McLaughlin, Josh Simmons, Donovan Jackson. It's not Brian Hartline. It's not James. This is the Ohio State University. It's the Block O, man. It's the Block O.
I will say this though. It does. You do need to make the right hire, otherwise it can go south real fast. Doesn't matter how good of the program you are. You better hire the right coach.
Yeah, 100%. But
I can see why Ohio State fans kind of see it that way, because it's like you never know what you're gonna get. We did get very, very great. Just fortune with Ryan Day. We did.
Yeah.
In all fairness. And we saw how it went with Kerry Combs being the D coordinator. I think I can tell.
Yeah. Well, I think that Ryan Day should rightfully have earned every Ohio State fan's trust. Well, actually, that could be a whole show because he did lose to scum this year. But either way, he earned my trust.
The first time he lost legitimately.
Yeah, he earned my trust. So there's the Knowles thing. I think he's a Buckeye. Ohio State's not going to let him go over money. These other teams can offer. Everybody wants to talk about how we got a $20 million roster. Well, what makes you think you can steal a coach from us with money then that we actually want?
I'm not gonna lie.
You're going to tell us we got a $20 million roster. Do you think you're going to come in and offer one of our coordinators that we want to keep more money and we're going to let him go? No, don't think so. It ain't happening.
I really want to go off on that whole $20 million stuff because it's like,
yeah, that's not the show. Not the show for that.
On roster. We spent the fifth most. We beat 3 of the teams.
I know. We're not getting. Don't get into that right now, TG. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. That's a long one.
But the only team, I would say this, the only team we didn't beat that spent more than us was Georgia, and that's because we didn't see them.
Yeah, totally. The other coach, Chip Kelly, there's these rumors out there that he's getting offered offensive coordinator jobs in the NFL and different things. I haven't heard anything too concrete with that. I just think after you win a natty like this and him being so close to Ryan Day and the fact that he left a head coach position to become an offensive coordinator should answer all your questions and alleviate all your fears, at least for the time being. So that's how I feel. TG, your thoughts? Chip Kelly, is he staying? Is he going to go? What do you think?
No, he's definitely staying. I'm going to tell you this. Chip Kelly, I mean, if you listen to people within the Woody and you listen to Kirk and Nevada, like, Chip Kelly is the happiest he's ever been in his career. I mean, he's like a kid in the candy store with the type of talent he's got right now. Like, he's never had this kind of talent, even during his time in the NFL. Like, go back to the 49ers, bro. This team is more talented than the 49ers team he had. You could say this team is every bit as equal, if not maybe a little better than the Eagles team he had. Like, for him to say that, and he's been around NFL talent, and he's never had this kind of talent before, he's not leaving. He's like a kid in the candy store right now. He's enjoying himself.
100%. Okay. Well, to move on to our final subjects, the number one thing that I wanted to talk about, I might get a little heated during this one too, but we got a couple players that announced they were coming back. And let me start with saying that Davidson Igbinosa annoyed the crap out of me at times this year. Extremely annoying with his holding calls and all that stuff. But my question is, does anybody go back and watch the good plays that he made and point those out and talk about those? Talk about how the quarterbacks didn't throw his way on certain plays because he had such good coverage, or the interceptions that he makes in the end zone because he is so handsy and how physical he plays. Now, I get he's got several things to work on, but Davison Igbinosa is coming back, and if you are an Ohio State fan and you're not pumped and excited about that, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm ecstatic beyond words that he's coming back. We saw this year what happens when players that can leave come back. It creates a brotherhood. It brings about senior leadership. It creates a dynamic on a team that I think is 100% necessary to win a national title, and that's a team that can persevere. And the only thing that's going to breed perseverance is people that have failed. And Davison Igbinosa and Sonny Styles have failed. They have lost big games. They have lost to Michigan over and over again. You want players that can teach perseverance, that can teach it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to get a holding penalty. It's okay to get burnt by a running back and they score a touchdown on you. We still won a national title. You're allowed to fail. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. I want those players back. Whatever message Ryan Day preached this year, whatever message the Lord put into their hearts, I want those players back. As many players as we can get off this national title team. Davison Igbinosa was a starter on the national title team. How do you not want this dude back? Are you serious?
I get
Listen,
Listen,
I get it though.
I get
I'm not hating. I'm hating you. I'm not hating on you. If you don't want him back, that's fine. You have your argument. I'm just telling you my opinion. You're allowed to not want him back.
I thought he'd be a stud in the NFL.
Yeah. But let me ask you. Do you want Davison Igbinosa back?
Honestly, selfishly, I did, but I actually thought Calvin Hunt would stay, so I would want him to go to the NFL just to give Calvin a chance to be a starter. But because Calvin left, I said, hopefully Iggy does come back. Because selfishly, I did want Iggy back. I think he's a great corner. Does he have his handsy problems? Yes. That's because he's too physical. It's not like he can't cover without doing it. He just loves being physical a little too much. But I do want him back. I think he's going to be a stud and a great mentor to these guys, to Bryce West, to Aaron Scott, to Devin Sanchez when he comes in, the other corner, that 6'4", 6'5" corner we got, who I think is a stud. I think he's going to be a great mentor to those guys.
I do too. And like about the only thing you can complain about being a corner is his holding calls. We're not complaining that he gets burnt. We're not complaining that he can't tackle. We're not complaining that he's out of position. We're not complaining that he's getting speeding tickets or DUIs or being a cancer in the locker room. We're complaining because he's too competitive. Because he's too competitive. That's what we're complaining about. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I get it. You're allowed to complain. I was so mad so many times this year, right, over some of the things he did. But he's gonna get better. somebody brought up Cody Simon in the chat. They said Igmanosis, Cody Simon. Look how much better Cody Simon got, right? So Iggy coming back, I love it, man. The attitude he brings to the team, you can't teach that. You cannot coach that into a player, the attitude he has. I want these young guys. I want the Devin Sanchez's and all these other Aaron Scotts, Bryce West. It's like Iggy and Jermaine Matthews.
Have his attitude.
Yeah, Iggy and Jermaine Matthews, they have that. Yeah, they have that attitude 100%. So the next one.
Listen, I get that it's frustrating. I get that it's frustrating, but I'd rather have Iggy be that competitive and that physical than a guy who just won't do it. He can learn to control it, but I'd rather have that because that type of fire you cannot teach. I want that. Yeah,
100%. Robert Stonian, our safety next year will either be Jalen McClain or Malik Harford. We will see. Both are absolutely phenomenal options, so we'll see. All right, so back to the final thing. We got another player that said they were coming back. I was stoked to hear this as well. Sonny Styles, man. And what I'll start off by saying by Sonny Styles is I was very frustrated with Sonny at the beginning of the year. I was frustrated with Sonny because I was ignorant, because I did not know enough about football to understand exactly what Sonny Styles had to do to go from a safety to a linebacker. So my being upset with his play was ignorance on me. It was not because of Sonny Styles. If you look at how Sonny Styles started this season and look how he ended this season, if you are not absolutely stoked to get Sonny Styles back on the same projection of getting better and better and better each snap, I don't know what to tell you. Sonny Styles is going to be an absolute game wrecker. He's going to be a game wrecker. Mello, beautiful, beautiful point. I never even thought about this. Ohio State fans, ask yourself this question. Chat, answer this question. Would Sonny Styles come back if he thought he would have a new defensive coordinator next year? His last year, his money-making year, the most important career of his life, the most important year in his career, is he coming back if he doesn't even know who his defensive coordinator is? My answer is no.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is, and neither would David, for that matter. Neither one of them came back.
Lisa wants to know if Iggy was a transfer to Ohio State. Yes, he transferred from Ole Miss.
It's funny because Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss hate us just because we take their players. Tywone Malone, Iggy,
Brad
Junkins.
Yeah. Brad, I got some patience now. I learned a little bit of patience this year. This was my first time being this involved and actually speaking my emotions out loud for a football team. And yes, I learned a lot this season about being patient with football players, with teams, and with coaches. I mean, we were frustrated with Chip Kelly and his play calling. The dude just came to the team. It takes a while to get to know players. It takes a while to get to know their strengths. I mean, we had a new safeties coach, a new running back coach, a newish linebacker coach, what other new coach? A new offensive coordinator. It takes some time. But ultimately, they got it figured out. I mean, by the end of the season, Ohio State looked like exactly like what we thought they were going to look like all season. And that's what mattered. Mm-hmm. Did they look like the best team in the playoffs? By far. They won all the playoff games by double digits. Like, I don't know what else you want.
I mean, if you ask me, I told people, it's like, guys, don't expect this team to be dominant right away. Like, this ain't a video game. You can do that in a video game, not in real life. This is going to take time for development. Development matters. It's going to take these guys time. It's the same thing I said with Jelani Thurman. I get that he's a 5-star. He's a talented kid. But these kids don't develop equally. It takes them time. I think Jelani's developed well as a blocker. Now he needs to develop pass catching. That's the next step. I think he's done well this year from what he's done. He's a great blocker. He has the talent to be a great pass catcher, to be a stud at tight end. He just needs to get better at pass catching. So once he does that, I think he will be a stud tight end, just like what we're getting out of Max Clear. It takes a lot of time. And ask James Laurinaitis. This guy came in, and he wasn't immediately an impact player. He became a Hall of Fame linebacker because of the development he got.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, Hey, chat, bear with us real fast. Me and TG, we're going to start over. We're going to start the show over. Troy just got home, and he missed the first part, so we're going to go over everything one more time just so Troy gets it. So just bear with me real fast. It's a joke, TG. Look at you. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I wouldn't know. I knew you. I'm just sitting here like, I don't know.
But yeah, so Iggy and Sonny Styles are coming back. I'm excited, man. I think they're going to be leaders on the team next year. I have a sneaking suspicion Sonny Styles is going to wear that block O next year.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, who do you think was going to get the block O, Iggy or Sonny?
Yeah. Yep, I think it's Sonny. I think Sonny Styles is going to get that block O. That's just me.
I wouldn't be mad either if it was Iggy though.
No. Yeah, no, I wouldn't either, but I'm excited about next year. Just keep in mind though, that we got spoiled this year, big time, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not saying our defense can't be absolutely dynamic next year.
They're still going to be top 10. They're not going to be the defense they were this year because this defense was just performing at a historical level. You cannot with this time.
Yeah, it's an NFL defense. NFL players, but
you still got NFL players on this team. It's just that this defense was just performing at an all-time historic level with the depth that we had. I think we're still going to have depth, but it's like it's not going to be like how it was this year. I think it'll be top 10, top 5. I don't think they'll be the historical defense they once were, but again, they'll still be a top-tier defense. That's not going to
happen. I mean, if I think about every position group, if I think about safeties, defensive back, linebackers, defensive line, I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited for the players. Other side of the ball, think about receivers, absolutely stoked. Tight ends, absolutely stoked. Running backs, absolutely stoked. Offensive line, absolutely stoked now. We got some transfer players and seeing what Justin Fry can do.
You got the interior that is so experienced now, could be better next year. And then you got literally NFL tackles. And one of those NFL tackles, Phillip Daniels, is Paris Johnson Jr.'s cousin.
Yep, I know. And then you got quarterback, which is the conversation right now that everybody wants to have. So no, we're not going to have that this show. I just kind of want to give a prelude into the next thing we're going to talk about. But yeah, I'm excited about next year. I put in the chat all season long 2024, 2025 Natty Lock. I'm still very confused on whether we just won the 2024, 2025 National Championship.
I think we won the 2024 title, but we won it in the year 2025, just like 2014. That's why
I know. Well, when you go to YouTube to watch it, you see 2025 National Championship.
Yeah, that's what they do. I just say call it the 2024, 2025 Natty, and next year be the 25-26.
Yeah, I just want one number. Is it the 24-25 Natties? Somebody tell me, man. I need to know.
Do exactly what the NFL does and put a number in front and call it the national championship.
What's on the trophy? What is printed on the trophy? Does the trophy say 2024 CFB National Championships? That's what I need to know. By the way, I ordered an Ohio State national title ring, big old bulky thing, just to wear on the show. I'll never wear it anywhere else, but I'm going to wear, and then from now on, I'm going to do the whole show like this. So the ring shows on my finger right here. Just wanted to let everybody know. 2024 season. 2024 is on the trophy. 2025 Natty next year, okay? The shirt says 2024. That's what I thought. 2024. Okay, there we go. We got it. TG, did your internet cut out, or are you still with us? She gone. TG gone. Well, TG, it's the end of the show, so you need to come back on here so we can tell everybody our goodbyes and farewells. Tomorrow, we got a guest coming on for you, depending on how long the guest stays on. We got TJ Downing coming on. If TJ's on for about 30 minutes or so, the last 30 minutes of the show, I'll put the link in the chat. We can come on. We can talk about some football. Duke and Daniel's show, the Pops Pod. Their first episode will be this Friday at 8 p.m. Please be sure to be there. We're a fan channel, man. It's the off season, so if you want to come on and talk football with us, please email us. We want you on here. If you're in the chat all the time and we haven't seen your face yet, that's a problem. You need to get on here. You need to introduce Buckeye Nation to you. We chill around here. You know us. I mean, if you don't think you're smart enough or whatever to come on this show, if Mello can come on here, shoot, man. Anybody can come on here and talk. Mello, that's a joke, bro. I took a little shot. You're not here. Sorry, my dude. I love you, bro. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Hey, sorry about
All
that
right.
with my Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi.
You're good, man. It happens. But you got any final words for the chat?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, first of all, I will say this to you, Penn State morons, please stop it. Same thing with your Oklahoma fools, please stop it. Notre Dame, all y'all stop it. Michigan, your natty's not legit, so please stop talking. On top of this, Ohio State, I can't wait for us to go into next year. I am super excited. I do think Ohio State has a chance to repeat because there is no dominant team. They have a chance. I'm not saying they're going to, but they got a chance, and I'm excited to see if they will. What about you, Bill?
Well, Donald called me the other day. Said he had a present coming my way. So I see him in the chat there. Hopefully he gives me some good news on that here shortly. I'm not going to say what it is, but boy, if I get that thing, I'm going to be stoked. But no, I'm excited about this year. Everybody relax. It's silly season. You're going to see rumor after rumor after rumor. The truth is, don't get worked up about it. You'll know when you know, right? The only
Even
thing to really
the tampering rumors. I will say the tampering rumors were true though, because
but
tampered with for months, and
either
I'm like, really?
Yeah, either way, whatever decision players make, whatever decision coaches make, this is the Ohio State University. We're going to be all right. It's college football. It's the way things are. But I love talking about it, too. I love digging into these rumors and figuring it out and all that stuff. But I love it, man. I love the family Buckeye Boys have created here with us as hosts and people that come on the show, to the people in the chat, to the people like Eric from Ohio Pod and Scoop and the other shows that helped us get to this point. Let us know if you guys got any ideas for videos. We are also going to do a season awards show. I'm going to try to get a couple other shows involved. I know Ohio Pod, I haven't asked them yet, but I know they'll say yes. What we're going to do is we're going to create like probably 10 awards. Everybody on staff for that channel will vote, and then we're going to ask our watchers to vote on those awards as well. We'll put all votes together, and we'll all come on the show together, and we'll give those awards away. So I'll see how many shows we can get involved in it, but try to come up with some cooler awards, not just your typical offensive MVP, defensive MVP. Those will be there too, but we'll do some other awards too. But other than that, we appreciate you for watching. Please hit the alert bell so you can know when we're coming on. Tomorrow, be prepared. You never know. We might be coming on at some super random time with an absolute superstar on the Ohio State team. I pray that we get them on here, but we'll see. So we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. On that note, go Buckeyes. OH!
Ayo!